Nicole Hawkins, it's so great to talk to you today. Thank you for taking the time. I'm so excited. You're going to be our keynote speaker at the 2026 Eating Disorder Conference. And that's just going to be, the topic that you picked is so exciting. I think it's going to really kick off the conference well. So you picked the topic of social media, scrolling into crisis. So social media, eating disorders, and just overall mental health of adolescent girls. So I think that's going to really hit home for a lot of our people that are really trying to figure out what to do with this issue. So first of all, I just want to ask you, how are you doing and how is the construction of the CFC going?
Yeah, well, first off, thanks, Trevor. It's great to see you, talk to you. I'm really excited you're doing this conference and I'm excited to speak. So, social media is a huge passion for me. The media has been a passion for me. I started researching the media and the thin ideal over 35 years ago. And then
Wow.
now I'm really passionate about social media. The Center for Change has been involved in the big lawsuit currently that you may be seeing on the news with Meta and with Google and with TikTok. We've actually signed up 5% of the patient or the clients in that lawsuit.
Wow.
So yeah, so I'm going to be sharing a little bit about that lawsuit, definitely talking about the impact of social media on young adolescents and on women, the impact it's had on eating disorders, on suicide, on self-harm. Because I think we've seen some significant changes since 2010, since Instagram came out. And so as
Mm,
clinicians, our population we've been treating has changed a lot. So I'll be talking about that, talking about
mm,
some tools and some resources for therapists and working with these
mhm.
clients, and then just talking about some of the latest just kind of changes in the eating disorder field in general. So it's definitely a passion for me. I
Yeah.
love talking about
Yeah.
social media in general.
Yeah. Would you say, Nicole, that there was like, pre-social media and then after, like, was there a moment where you're like, everything is changing in this field and we have to start to make quick adjustments?
Yeah, back before 2019, I used to be a national speaker and a
Yeah.
suicide education prevention speaker. And before then, we used to say that the rates of suicide in this country have remained unchanged. We
Hmm.
can't say that anymore, especially
Wow.
with our young adolescents. And here in Utah, we have double the rates of suicides with our young female adolescents. And of course, we have high rates of eating disorders. So I think something changed significantly. Of course,
Hmm.
COVID changed our population, but I think
Hmm.
social media changed our population. So as clinicians, we need to be assessing social media almost like a clinical indicator now. We need to be
Hmm.
knowing, are our clients passive or active users?
Hmm.
What platforms are they on? How much are they using it? Are they using it 3 hours a day, 6 hours a day? These are all things we need to know now, which probably 10, 15 years ago wasn't even on our radar of
Yeah.
things we needed to be assessing.
Right. Right. So you, of anybody, probably has your pulse on this more than just because of what you see running CFC and being in the field for so long. So is it getting worse? Is there hope? What do you think we
so,
should feel
so
about
right
it?
so right now I think it's still getting worse,
Oh,
but I think there's hope. I think this lawsuit will help. I think the
mhm,
work of Dr. Jonathan Hyatt, who's the author of Anxious Generation. I think
mhm,
in Australia, they just banned social media for adolescents under the age of
mhm,
16. And I think Dr. Haidt, he believes that in the next 3 years, that'll be in every country, that every country will have
mm,
banned social media for everyone under the age of 16. So I think there's hope. I
wow.
think parents will come together. I think clinicians will come together. My son goes to a private school, his phone's locked up all day. I think that will be the
Mm,
standard to come. I just think we all have to get
yeah,
more educated and we all have to get more on board. So, yes, I think there is hope, but right now, I think unfortunately it's getting a little bit worse, but it will get better. We need more
yeah.
presentations like
Well,
this. We
hearing
need
about the
to all,
suicide rates,
oh,
yeah.
go ahead. Sorry. I just think the more we get
Well, I was just
educated,
sad, and I'm so excited that you're, kind of leading on this area, and I think it's going to be an amazing presentation, and people are going to be very excited to hear this, Nicole. What's kept you so motivated in the field for so long too? What's some of the the drive behind your passion, Nicole?
I think as a recovered person myself, I believe in a full recovery, and working here at the Center for Change for 27 years, I've seen a lot of people recover. And I know they can
Yeah.
fully recover. And so I just have hope for this future generation. And I think they need to have role models, and they need to know people can recover. So that keeps me, keeps my passion alive, and just knowing that this, I started out my first job, I worked with individuals with schizophrenia. And it was really hard because when I worked with individuals with schizophrenia, it was hard to tell them that a full recovery was possible. Well, working with individuals with eating disorders, I can look at them and say a full recovery is possible. And so we need to remember every day that they can get better, they can get well, they can have a better life. And we need to remind them of that, because when you're in the trenches of an eating disorder, it's hard to remember that sometimes. Yeah. So we need to, we need to be their coaches. We need to be their cheerleaders. We need to be their biggest fan, because we know it's possible.
Well, it's great having people like you that have seen the long view on this and also are still paying attention to the new trends and things to respond to. So, I've learned so much from you, and I think it's going to be amazing to let other people hear so much from your presentation, Nicole.
No, I'm really glad you guys are doing the conference. I'm really excited. If people haven't had the opportunity to see Jessica Setnick speak, she's an amazing presenter. She's fabulous. So the fact that you have her coming to Utah is tremendous. So if people have not seen Jessica, please come just to see Jessica.
Yeah, that's so great, Nicole. Yeah, and I kind of led off with this question, but how is the construction at CFC going? Because I know you guys are living in a construction zone that's never easy.
Yeah, so we're expanding, and we're adding 36 additional beds. So, unfortunately, the need is always there. So we should have those beds finished by the end of the year. So we're really excited. We're going to do an adolescent acute unit. And we're looking to probably do a unit devoted to patients with ARFID. So I think just doing some new service lines and really treating kind of some of the trends in the industry, and getting more people care.
Yeah, so cool. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time today to chat with me for a few minutes. And I think this is really going to inspire a lot of people to want to hear this topic, and also to really think about how they're talking to their clients about it, talking to their kids about it, and really getting hopefully involved in some of the solutions to the problem. So thanks so much, Nicole.
Yeah, no, you're welcome. I'm looking forward to it. And so again, well done, you guys, to have this conference. And I think it's a great resource. In the United States, there's 0.04% of therapists that specialize in eating disorders.
And I completely agree with you on that. I think when therapists don't understand an area, they feel nervous to ask about it. And so many clients go many, many years without having this issue even investigated or assessed, because therapists and even dietitians and medical providers just don't really know what to do with it, so they don't ask. So hopefully at this conference, we'll just really get some good conversations going about just kind of bringing up people's level of awareness and giving them tools to start the conversation, and knowing where to go from there if they get stuck. Yeah. Thank you for all your effort in the field and how many people's lives you've touched, Nicole. And for sure, on a very busy day, thank you for taking the time to talk, and we'll be talking more soon. Okay, thanks, Nicole.